Hi folks, for today's video, we're gonna talk about the Behringer Xenyx QX1202 USB. Now, this mixer is one of the most basic mixer you can find in the internet. And what this does is it allows you to feed 12 different signals and a pair of output, which is the main left out and the main right out. Now, this is a very good kind of mixer because aside from giving 12 inputs, it allows you to control each channels or each input on how the way it sounds. Right now as I speak, you can hear me. And hi, this is me. As I turn this knob all the way down, check test, check mic 1 to sound check, test, check, test, check, test, check, check, check. This is the main volume for my channel. Right now, I'm speaking through a Shure SM58 microphone which is fed on my channel 1. I've used the channel 1. I still have remaining 11 inputs available. Now, we're gonna talk about each strip and what each knob functions. Right now, my microphone is fed into the XLR input. This is normally used for the microphones. Next, we have the line in. It could be your laptop, it could be your CD, DVD, MP3, any other kind of music. It could also be your music instruments like guitar, piano, something like that. Next in line, we have the gain. Now, this gain is on top of the line because it plays very important role. And this should be the first knob that you have to set when you put any kind of input. Now, what this does is it allows you to set a certain level in which the signal is audible, which means it should be audible and at the same time it should not be distorted. As I turn this knob all the way up, check mic, check mic, check mic 1 2, check mic, check, check, test, check, test, check. You see that the signal is very high and is very hot, which means it could distort the signal and the speakers. If I turn this knob all the way down, check, test, check, test, check, test, check mic 1 2 sound check, it's almost impossible to hear me, right? So you have to set this knob at a certain level. Next in line, we have the compressor. Now, what it does is it allows you to cut the signal. Normally, if you want to disable this knob, you turn this all the way up, which means you did not cut any level of the signal. If I turn this knob down, check, check, test, check, test, check, test, check, test, check, test, check, test, you can notice that the signal decreases, which means this is the threshold. And what the threshold does is that when you turn this down, you set the compressor to get activated at a low signal input. Okay, again, if you set this all the way down, it means you set the compressor to get activated even the signal is very low. Okay, so you have to set this at a certain level which give you a very nice signal. Okay, next in line, we have the equalization. And what this does is it allows you to control the quality of the signal, whether you want it to be hissy, something like that, like that, and lows, which is Lojack mic 1 2 check, test. Sorry, my voice is not that good. Anyway, what it does is on the low, the Behringer manufacturer set this mixer on the low at 80 Hz. the mid at 2.5 kilohertz and the high at 12 kilohertz. Check mic 1 to sound check. Just try to notice how it affects the sound. Check mic 1 2 test. 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 So you can notice the change in the signal and how it sounds. Now we have this so-called low cut, which is normally activated or pressed when your input is voice. Okay? Especially when the person talking has a very low register on the vocals. Me, in my case, my voice is very thin, so I disable this function. Alright? Now, normally, this equalizer is set to 12 o'clock, which means, for example, on the lows, you did not cut or you did not boost the lows. Likewise to mid and the highs. Okay? For example, the voice of the person is very boosty on the low. You have to cut that. Alright? Next in line, we have the effects. The effects means this is an auxiliary input, which means aside from sending the voice to the main output, you are also sending the voice to an effect signal and give you a signal that comes with effects. Right now, if I speak, check, check, test, check, check, test, check, check, mic 1 to sound check, test, test. Now, you have to set this at a certain level, which give you a very nice sounding. For example, there's a man singing a rap song. So basically, you don't need these effects. But if the man sings a love song, like for example, like this, it sounds good, right? Now, when you set these effects, make sure that you are not clipping also the signal. If I'm going to set this at this 12 o'clock, check mic 1 to sound check. If I'm going to set this at maximum, check, check. You see that you are clipping the effects processor, which is not good. Test. Right now I'm going to disable it. Now, next in line we have the pan. The pan controls the signal level coming out to the left and to the right. If I'm going to turn this knob all the way to the left, it means the sound will come out only on the left channel. If I'm going to turn this knob all the way to the right, and lastly, the fader. Now, since this is basic mixer, Behringer did not put a fader. Instead, they put this knob because the space is very tight. And it is designed for this small scale. Again, if I turn this down, you will not hear anything. Test, check, test, check, test. Now, right now, my microphone is fed into the channel 1. I still have 3 inputs, which I can put microphones. And then, I still have this 8 remaining channels, which are set in pairs. Which means, normally, your music is left and right. So basically, I have a cell phone right now. I'm going to feed this to channel 5 and to channel 6. And right now, I have the cell phone, which I'm going to play music. And the level should be set right here. music.
She saved the words
And as I turn this knob all the way down, you can control the level of the music.
a tiny piece of heaven.
And again, you have the balance here, which controls the output whether it's going to the left or to the right. And again, you have another knob here, which is the effects. But of course, normally you would not add effects on the music files.
Holding hands with each other beneath the Spanish sky.
I'll turn this down. Now, sometimes your input is a guitar. And guitar normally only comes with a single jack because it's mono, right? It means when you put that guitar into that channel 5, it also uses the channel 6. Do you like this one? And the mixer understands that the signal you put is a mono channel. Now, if you put two different signals, the mixer understands that the signal is stereo. And that goes all the way for all the 12 channels. Now, you have the master fader here. I'm going to turn this down, my video. This is the main fader for all the channels, which means if I turn this down, check, you will not hear anything if I turn this down. Check, 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 test. So, that's the purpose of this mixer. And again, this mixer is a very good kind of mixer. Now, you'll notice you have here a button, which means 48 volts phantom power. Now, what it does is there are some kinds of microphone that requires phantom power. I'll give you an example. Just like this one. So, basically, this one. This is a condenser microphone from Samsung, which is a CO1, a studio condenser. And this type of microphone requires phantom power. But be careful. This kind of mixer comes with only one knob, or I mean one button, which means when you turn this knob activated, it gives phantom power for all the XLR channels. And remember, you have this microphone, which is Shure SM58, which does not require phantom power. And at some cases, you might probably damage the microphone because it's dynamic microphone and not condenser microphone. So be careful with that and always take note. Now, if I'm going to turn this knob, turn this all the way. Check, check, test, check, check, check. So now you can hear me speaking on the condenser microphone, which is fed to my channel 1. Again, if I turn this down, you will not hear anything from me. Test, test. Test, test. Again, that phantom power is used for those devices which requires phantom power, just like this one. Again, I'm going to remove this condenser microphone. Again, you have to turn the volume all the way down. Check test, check test. And that's it. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you like this one. See you.